And I'm short, so now we're like, and we are live once again. When the Storm 2023, March 15th through the 17th. Where are we at? Fort Lauderdale, Florida this week. Coming to you live with my good friend Joshua I Roofing. What's happening, brother?
Not much, man. Just trying to enjoy the show, and there's a lot of movement here, back and forth, so it's been great. And happy to be on here with you guys.
Always happy. It's always a pleasure to see you. Our conversations are always so dope. We ran into you. Where the hell were we? Dallas last week, right?
Yeah, Dallas.
Dallas. How was that show for you?
It was great. I mean, it was it was very busy.
Mhm.
The IRE is always the major focus of the year, so you
Yes.
always want to make sure that you're on point. You got all your
Yes.
swag, everything else. So.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the Goliath of roofing expos, and that's what's kind of cool about that expo is that it is an expo, right? You got the expo floor. That's what they focus on the floor. Not that there's not little breakouts here and there,
Right.
but like that's not their main focus. A lot of these, I don't even want to call them smaller, but how about we call it privately funded roofing expos and conferences is more of a conference type of feeling like this one is.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
There is an expo floor, but I think they really focus on all of the breakouts, the little mini breakouts, the bigger breakout rooms, the main stage, keynote speakers, things like that, which is kind of cool because it gives you the best of both worlds.
Right.
And the things that you learn from coming here with the people that they have up on stage or the breakouts. I actually had a breakout this morning at 9 a.m., which I was really surprised on how many people were there. At first, there was just 2 people there at like 9:02. It was supposed to be at 9 a.m. So I thought, oh, good, this will be a practice breakout because I've only done like 2 breakouts in my entire life. Or that was my second one. Right. And like you were talking earlier, it's like, I don't know how you do this all the time. And really, I don't know how I do this all the time because it still terrifies me.
Right.
I mean, it really does. I'm still uncomfortable with it, but it's one of those things where you just kind of like get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if it became too comfortable for me, I'd probably get too arrogant with it and really act like a jerk. You know what I mean? But I think it's part of growing up, being an adult, getting mature, and humbling yourself a little bit too. Because like you said, you were like, I don't do this all the time. I prefer to do the one-on-one conversation with people. And really, that's how I just try to look at this. Like we're just 2 dudes up here rapping. We didn't rehearse anything. I don't have bullet points. I didn't say, hey, don't get off the rails. Stay on this topic, blah, 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 blah. And really, that's what has made this, I think, besides staying consistent, it's just being authentic and real. And that's what I really like about you,
I
Joshua.
appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So first and foremost, I found out last night, your last name is not iRoofing.
Nope, it's Gless.
What,
G-L-E-S-S.
what is it?
Gless.
Glass? Here, let's turn that around a little bit there. I was having glass. Okay.
It's like Bless except the G instead of the B.
Okay. So it's Joshua Glass.
Correct.
Okay. And so what is iRoofing?
So iRoofing is an all-in-one sales tool for roofing professionals, so they can measure a roof from anywhere in the world using a drone, satellite, or blueprints as well. They can create that estimate right there, right on the spot, and then they can even order the materials from the application. Now, the other great thing about it, and what I love about it, is just there's so many different sales tools in there to help them overcome objections when they're with the homeowners. Because you don't want to leave that room or the house with those guys without actually signing the deal. And so having all those different objections, I mean, everything's geographically located. We have the sales presentation piece on there that you guys can go through and really alleviate all the different questions that the homeowners had at that time.
Okay. So it's an aerial measurement tool that goes up, communicates with like a CRM or an estimating writing tool.
Yeah, so once you actually have your measurements all inside there, then it's inside the application, and then you can just easily push a button, and then you can go down by, you can either do price per square or you can do price per line item. So,
Okay, so it is an estimating software as well.
Correct.
So it's much more than I guess GAF Project has like an estimating software, and I know early on in our career as salespeople, Mike, it's okay to just tell us what you guys got to do. Okay. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. What the hell was I talking about? Early on.
Yeah.
Yes. So GAF Project, which is also a great tool for somebody that has, I don't want to even say issues, writing a proposal up, but anyhow, I know I needed early on like an estimating writing tool. So I had an Excel spreadsheet. That's basically what our proposal was.
Right.
Was an Excel spreadsheet that kind of calculated everything for me. We thought we were slick as shit. but it didn't communicate with anything else, right? So what you're telling me is that you have an aerial measurement tool that's connected or is within the same platform. I'm guessing
Correct.
that is an estimating software,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, does that bolt on to a CRM?
So as of right now, it is not. So we are going to be opening up our API that we're going to be connecting with some of these different CRM systems because there's a lot of great ones that are out there.
Right on.
And we're not looking to reinvent the wheel by any means. Especially because there's so many great ones out there already.
Yeah, I feel like I've asked you that question a million times, but I just want to make sure our viewers understand exactly what your tool does, because we're definitely a proud supporter of Joshua himself. And then that's the thing, being a consumer, I personally buy from people, right? Like, and with you being, what you do within your community, and we can get to that here in a little bit, but the product that not just you, but your product, I want them to know what it is that your product does and what it can offer. Now, is it like a per user price, or is it?
Yeah, so it's $149 a month, and that's for 3 users, and that's for unlimited. So, we take a lot of the same different technology that some of these other companies are utilizing. We teach them how to do it, so they have access right there, right on spot. They don't have to wait for it. Because when I'm out, typically I like to, meet with people at grocery stores or whatever it might be. How great is it to be that you can actually measure their roof? You can actually provide them an estimate. You don't necessarily need to set up that appointment. You can try to close everything right there on the spot. Or like guys that are out there doing home and garden shows, you can be at the home and garden show, and then you can have these clients come in. You don't have to go to their house. You don't have to set those appointments because you can already go through it. And even like our roof visualizer, you can take a picture of their house, and then they can be doing everything all right there, right on the spot.
Okay. So first and foremost, how accurate is the roofing measurement tool?
So it's extremely accurate. I mean, I've traveled all over the United States. I've been through 33 different states. I hand measured a couple different spots just because I want to test it. I mean, I even did it on a house over in Arizona, and I was surprised because it was like 1 inch off. And I measure a lot of different football fields. I don't know if you've ever seen some of those videos. So I was out at Tennessee, and I was like, hey, just how accurate is the iRoofing measurement tool? And so I got 100 yards or 300 feet in 3 inches.
Yeah. No, that's okay. So that's cool. How long? Because I'm hearing you say, like, if we were at a home show, and all, not only that, but like the one call close. So how quick is the return on that? So if I go to see a homeowner, I get up on the roof, I kind of inspect everything, I talk with them, I punch their information and their address.
Right.
Like, how quick does it come back?
So what we do is we teach you how to do it, so you have access to it right there. So before you actually go to the homeowner, or when you're with the homeowner, you're able to draw it up there. You're able to get the measurements. You can re-verify everything. We also have a scale verify tool, which is one of my favorites, because I'm old school still.
Yes.
You can measure twice, cut once.
Yes.
And so you put that on there, and it will automatically recalculate all the measurements based on that one measurement. And one of the things too is just sometimes the pitch might be off on a couple different reports or whatnot, or maybe there's different guys that are doing it. And so when you go out there, you can just go on there, you can verify it. You don't have to call anybody. It's all right there on the application. It's just done instantly.
Awesome. Okay. So I feel like it does some other things too. iRoofing does some much more than just roofing aerial measurements and an estimating tool. What else does it have the capabilities of doing?
So it also has for homeowners. So say, for example, if you have a homeowner that's like, hey, I would like you to come out, take a look at my roof, they can actually download the application as well. And they've all been able to pull out hey, look at these are the colors, can you do simulation with these different colors? So then they can actually send it to their roofer of choice so that they can actually go through it and then put that visualizer on there as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's just kind of because it's all about giving the power to the contractor at the end of the day, just kind of show them hey, look, this is what you can do. This is why we differentiate ourselves from everybody else that's out there. So it's just a matter of just, putting together all the different puzzle pieces to help overcome all those different objections that they might have.
Right. To make that presentation so much more presentable. Right. And it sounds like it's very simple to use once you learn how to use it, just like anything else. It takes a minute, but it doesn't sound like it's very complicated. So how long has iRoofing been around?
So we've been around since 2012. So we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. A lot of our different tools have been, we've been trying to add more features. We're getting ready to release our iRoofing cloud. That's been, we've had it ready to go for about the last couple of years, but we're just kind of holding on to get things all squared away before we release it. And that will help allow for a lot more of these open APIs and everything else.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. And so Open APIs. Okay, so then it can be more integratable.
Right.
Okay, so what I'm going to change the topic here a little bit. I'm going to kind of reverse engineer our conversation. Typically, I ask everybody first, how did the roofing space find you, or whatever, however that might have happened. So let's go back a little bit. What attracted you to our industry the most? Because I feel like you got a pretty good backstory.
Yeah, the roofing industry is pretty amazing. I mean, for a while there, I actually got back into construction. I was doing like rough carpentry again, and I was like, you know what, like I'm not going to be out there like building buildings. I know I'm good at like sales, everything else, and so I was actually looking for a place, and I found iRoofing, and I was like, wow, this is a great mix of technology and like the construction industry, and that's what I love so much about it because everybody in like all the different sections of everywhere from concrete work or all the way up to the roof. There's great people that like I get along with very well.
Mhm.
Fishing, hunting.
Yeah.
That's my thing. So.
Right on, man. And also the other thing is too that I know about you, you're very passionate about your community. Why don't you give us a couple descriptions of like what you have done throughout your local community?
So, lately I've been traveling so much, I really haven't really been doing too much. But one of the things that I've always felt is, the homeless or, I was an Eagle Scout before too. So, trying to rebuild or like try to help out the elderly or, feed the homeless. There's a lot of different things that I've done over the years. I haven't necessarily stuck to like one per se because I feel like there's so many different people that actually need help.
Yeah.
And I get a little bit of ADD. So,
Yeah,
it's like bouncing around a little bit.
Kind of all over the place a little bit.
But like seeing everybody, especially you and like what you've been doing, and Doug, even KMP. I mean, they give so much, and it's great to see these people and how much time and energy that they're actually putting into it. Because I feel like we're really starting to miss out on that human connection. At the end of the day.
Yes.
I want to have my daughters kind of like replicate and kind of like build from that as well. So I don't want them to just think, hey, we don't need to do this. And that's one of the things that is very important to me.
Yeah. So you're kind of like me because there's a couple of things that I've seen that you have done, and I feel like you do so much for not just your family but the local community and stuff like that you forget what you do. But I've watched you during storm time, like during certain periods throughout the storm, whether it be before the storm, during the storm, or after the storm. Like you're out giving water, and you got your daughter with you, and you guys are out, or you and your family are out, providing water and food and stuff like that. So this past storm where I saw you posting pictures of you and your daughter out there, what type of situations did you guys come across, and why did you feel compelled people needed water or whatever it was you were providing for them?
When we went out there, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it was the scenery was very what's the word, like apocalyptic almost. There's like trees all over the place. There's signs that are like blown across the road. There's houses that had like been completely ripped off. Yeah, I mean, it was wild. I mean, there was this one lady that I went and met with, and I tried to help her out as best I could. Her whole section of the house was like completely blown off, and half of it went into the neighbor's house, and they were in the back bedroom, and it was like 6 feet away, and they're hiding away in the closet, and it was just like, she's like, man, I was like so scared I was gonna like lose my life. And it's just it was seeing some of those different like scenes, the scenarios and stuff like that. I mean, it just drove me. But I did a couple different videos as well, so then I started having like people like reach out, hey, can you check on this person, hey, can you check on this person, and I tried to get to as many as I can. So I was able to do my phone actually had a little bit of internet every once in a while. It was great in the first couple of days, but after that there was like no internet. It was very spotty. But I did some had some people do some FaceTimes, and it really just, because in storms they forget that it's not just the victims, but it's like the families that are away.
Yes.
Like what are they going through?
Right.
So
Yeah, the worry.
Yeah.
Until you've actually got to experience what you have experienced, you really don't know what it's like for I'm going to call it, I guess, victims. That lady was hidden in her closet.
Yeah.
I guess would she be a victim of the storm? Pardon me for my whatever. So unless you've experienced something like that, you really don't know how they're feeling or what they're going through. That terrifying experience of, it's not even about the house anymore. And I'm scared for my life,
Right.
right? Like you have that near death experience.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy, and there's a lot of people. I mean, Jacob Goudry, Hail Trace and all them, like, they've seen a lot of this stuff firsthand. I mean, Doug Quinn, I was fortunate to moderate their panel, and I was really trying to find out like what was like their actual stories, and what are some of the different things. And there's a lot of very like heartfelt stories, and that's why I love guys like that. I mean, they're close dear friends to me, and I look up to them, and I see what they're doing, and it just motivates me to want to try to do more and better and stuff like that. So
Yeah, of course, man. It's like, we're trying to provide for our families too, but not that you put that to the side, but you were more concerned about everybody's health and safety, and that's pretty cool. That's what I think has really drawn me to you, because I've watched you do that, not just at this last storm, but the last storm that you guys had down here in Florida. I was like, this dude's a good dude, man. I'd like to really get to know this guy and get to meet him. And fortunately, I've been blessed and grateful that I have met you, because like I said earlier, we've had some really great conversations, not necessarily about business, because it's not always about business. It's a lot of the stuff is a personal connection, like I talked about earlier. Hence why, I fully support iRoofing now. Unfortunately, we don't use your product yet. We haven't gotten around to it or whatever. We're also so stinking busy, but just know that I'm a proud supporter of iRoofing and everything that iRoofing and Joshua uh, blessing,
no,
like
it's like bless except a G instead of the B. Just bless.
blessing, glass, Joshua Glass does, for the community and stuff like that. And what's cool is you're a great father too, and you're a great role model. If anyone hasn't told you lately, you're an awesome father. Okay. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're leading by example. You're leading with an open heart, and it's not about just take. You know what I mean? It's about giving, and we'll get a lot further in life if we can see a little bit further than our nose here. And what you do for our community, our roofing community, I'm grateful for that, and I'm sure your kids watch what you do.
They're very critical.
Yeah, of course.
They're like, hey, you said this way too many times. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, right.
I just try to like practice more and more and more. But they're amazing. I mean, every time I do something, I share it with them, and they're gonna be like there, and they're gonna be like, hey, Dad, remember what we talked about last time? I'm like, yes, baby.
Yeah.
So it's always something new. Trying to get rid of all the different like filler words and stuff. It's just the cameras, everything has not necessarily always been something that I felt most comfortable with. So
Yeah, most
especially when you
definitely.
got a face like this. I mean,
Yeah, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Javi did a great job on your makeup, by the way.
oh yeah, you did.
Just kidding. I don't even know where Happy went. But anyhow, we're running out of time here, Joshua. I appreciate our conversation. I've said that 100 times. I will continue to support you.
Appreciate it.
You guys do great things. Keep on kicking ass. Keep on taking names here in the state of Florida. And hopefully at some point in time, Jana and I can move down here and be closer to you.
Yeah, no, man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, man.
It's great weather. And before you came over, I had David Baines, who's with Paul Baines Roofing. They've been a long time supporter with us. I mean, they've done over 16,000
Wow.
reports with us. So
Wow.
it's it's a big number. I mean, we were kind of like taking it, and we were taking a look at all the different breakdowns. So we have something that we're working on that is going to be coming out soon.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, and I look forward to anything new that you do, man. Thank you for coming on the show, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep, always a pleasure. All right, guys, thanks for staying in tune, and we will talk to you shortly. Thanks.